Hey, you. Are you tired of having bad scav runs? Well, let me tell you what to do to fix that. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to effectively make the most out of your scav runs and some tips and tricks I've learned over my 2,000 hours of Tarkov. And since I've got you this far into the video, please like and subscribe to the video. Comment down below what you found helpful in this video, if you found anything helpful at all. But let's get right into it. So the basis of a scav run, right, are you basically go in with a given kit, try to get loot, and try to leave. A lot of people fail to do when doing scav runs is failing to put an item in every possible slot in their scav. Now what I mean by this is when you're in there, you're going to grab literally everything you can off the rip until your whole inventory, bag, pockets, everything is full on person. Everything. I mean everything. Now once you've acquired a full bag of loot and acquired every item you possibly can, fill up every possible slot, this is the time that you could leave. It's okay to leave. But if you're like me, typically what I would do next is I would hit specific spots on the map that I know would have high value loot items. For me, I'm a big fan of scabbing on Interchange and hitting up mainly the computer rooms in the back and Ollie. I'll show you a few spots right here that I typically run through. Hit this room last, just because most of the time on Interchange, this room's already been hit. You could also hit the more back offices of Interchange, but I usually have no luck there. So to each its own on that case. I would say that my second favorite map to play is, as a scav, would probably have to be Ground Zero. There is a plethora of computers on Ground Zero that not a lot of people hit as PMCs. And if you happen to get on one of the good 20+ level raids on Ground Zero as a scav, you have a really high chance of walking out there with the GPU. And most of the time the filing cabinets have a good likelihood of having intelligence because they just don't search filing cabinets on Ground Zero. Everyone rather goes there for kills, or at the current moment they're going there for events. Well, not a lot of looting's done there. That's a good thing for scavs. On Ground Zero, you're gonna really want to hit up these rooms as a scav. Second story room with the light machine gun mounted. There are a few computers in here that you could definitely take advantage of that people don't usually loot. I believe there's 4 or 5 to be the correct amount. And there's 2 sets of filing cabinets in the same room, and in the adjoining room there's another 2 sets. If you're feeling really confident, you can go to Terror Group as your scav and go to the second story. The the locked room has about 4 or 5 computers in it as well, and the room conjoining to it has about 3 to 4 med bags. No computers, but a chance for athletics in these med bags. And the only other place I would typically hit on Ground Zero as a scav, if you're really trying to bank the GPUs, is to go to the Mark 19 building. Top 2 rooms I think have a total of, I think it's about 10 to 11 computers. Just tons of computers to hit. High chance of getting a GPU. And then there's always 1 computer out here by this green truck, all by its lonesome self, that people typically don't see or think about hitting. All right, next, let's talk about fighting as a scav. So as most of you know, going into a raid as a scav, you're not really given the best equipment. Sometimes you get real lucky and you spawn with decent weapon or even something like a thermal optic. But most of the time you're spawning in with your standard shotgun and maybe if you're lucky like me right now, a drum. So your strength as a scav is going to be an element of surprise and in numbers. Mostly in numbers. If you do decide to fight, that is.
Me against the wall.
Now, if you do decide to fight and you're fighting in a group, especially as a scav, my advice is to stay in the back, because typically the first 2 to 3 scavs are going to die for sure. Fighting a PMC with decent ammo compared to what you're given, the first 2 to 3 are definitely going to die. So if you can stay in the back and maybe you can get a lucky shot off, you'll at least be one of the ones to leave with the loot. But you need to be very careful when you're looting, because not everybody who plays the scav cares about their rep.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Hey, don't you run away.
Now with all these tips and tricks, you should feel a lot better about this, don't you? That's what I like to hear. Again, if you guys liked the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, especially me with small content creators. So I stream every day, 9 p.m. right here on YouTube. So please make sure to just come by and check in. It'd be nice to talk to you guys. As always, take care of yourselves and peace.